So, yeah, the title isn't a lie. So, as many of you may have noticed, which I will send a link down in the description for those who haven't seen it, yeah, Nintendo's Nintendo Switch thing happened today. And honestly, if I wasn't mixed before about the console, I am more mixed now because oh boy, they definitely dropped a bit of a weird bombshell. Now, obviously, before I do begin, I do need to put a disclaimer. I am not going to explain this as well as I can, to say the least, because I'm not a true expert on this. And I only just heard it through the way I have. So do keep that in mind, and also, my usual stuff. I ramble on for a bit and crap, so deal with it. But I do kind of just want to make this video and give out my thoughts, you know, so that way you guys can at least understand where I'm coming from when I say it. I will say though, I am thankful that at least part of what they're doing is okay. Like they're still making Switch games, which they already revealed last week they were still doing, which was a smart move actually. However, I'm saying that now because weirdly enough, um, they basically to give you an idea. So to give you an idea, they basically says that let's say you have the original and you want to transfer it to the new Switch, you have to buy some sort of pack for that. Now, I don't know if that's going to be required for all the Switch games. And keyword, I say that not just because not every Switch game is compatible with Switch 2. That part we already been known even before this direct. But more so over, we don't know which Switch game is going to get like a pack, a quote unquote update pack for for the Switch 2. And for the first part, that makes sense. I mean, for the most part, the way it sounds, it makes sense and stuff. In fact, there's even why there's like Switch 2 edition games because they have so much. I guess there was so much updated that they basically want to update it further. Except for Pokemon AZ, which doesn't even. I mean ZA, which doesn't even surprise me. In fact, that's like the only game you don't even need a update pack for, which makes you question about Game Freak's decision with that one because that's like the weirdest one out of the other games that has updates to match up with the Switch 2, and it's like game graphics. Yeah, that's like okay, thank goodness. That's means I just stick with the OLED one. But all jokes aside, yeah, like the thing is, if you haven't heard, believe it or not, this will cost money, which they said it directly in the direct, no pun intended. Which, by the way, I did watch like Good Vibes Gaming, and they have a video on trying to explain it, and already the Japanese market kind of showcase it. And again, as a refresher, this is just a roundup because their money system is different than the USA's money system. But the point being, if you want the just the update, is $10 already. But if you want the full fledged of the update games, including some of the extra features, you need $20. Even alone without that stuff, even alone the fact that you gotta pay money to update your game to make it compatible with the Switch 2 is literally the most dumbest thing. Like that's the clearest thing I can say in this video to express why I think that's a stupid idea. Like that is a weird way to monetize junk, honestly. Because again, I totally understand it because this is supposed to be also like a brand new system, so to speak. But in the end of the day, no matter what they even said in the beginning of the direct, it's still a freaking updated version of the Switch 1, to say the least. So they really purposely don't need to truly do this. in general. Like if it was like free, that's when I can like get back up and all that and stuff. But in the end of the day, you have to pay for it. Like, gotta pay for an update and stuff. Like, that's super weird. That is 100% weird because, like, some of it makes sense. Like, I mean, for example, like Mario Party and, you know, Legend of Zelda and all that gobbledygook. But then you get to games like, ironically, the previous mentioned ZA, and all you're updating it is graphics. And even then, that's just the Nintendo Switch edition. What about the other games and stuff? And what's you're getting? And like, for example, Guilty Gear Strive. There's no way in hell you can update it with through that simple thing to add like mouse control and stuff. Heck, the only thing people have been asking is the same weird way as Pokemon and stuff. Unlike Pokemon, Guilty Gear Strive just runs fine on the Switch, and I don't see any problems like Sword Shield or Scarlet Violet. I don't. It's a whole thing. I mentioned it in my previous thing. I don't see it, but many can. I don't know, but still, like that's like the only thing you can prove on that. And you're telling me I gotta buy a pack for something, which by the way is also like it's already expensive game enough, a $60 game, and buy a pack to update it so that way it can work with the Switch too. Like, I mean, I don't know if these are all gonna be like given out to every single Switch game. Hopefully not, because if you can see my issue here, the issue is it's going to stack up and it's going to be very expensive, to say the least. Like, I may not be doing, and I will again repeat this, I may not doing the best job to explain this correctly, because I know there's going to be a better video explaining my concerns here. But the point is, you're basically buying updates in general, and that is weird. Like, if it was like an actual expansion pass or something like that, which I think they're trying to quote unquote be like addition or modernize with that thing, but they're not expansion pass. They're supposed to be updates so they can run on the game in general. Even then, if you're going for the cheap price, it's still $10. Like, I think I have like what 28 games. That's like $280. And I could be even wrong with that and stuff. With that, I mean, especially since I don't know how many games I actually do have on my Switch. But you get my drift. Like, if you have like one or two games, then sure. But if you have like up to 28, and I'm betting a lot of people have like 100 games on a Switch, and because I know I'm blasting that out of the water, but let's be real, that over exaggeration is jokingly true. You're going to be spending a lot of money on that, and it's really dumb, to say the least. Oh, like, again, I don't know how this works. They haven't explained it. Heck, they didn't even explain the pricing for America in the direct, so that's effed up, to say the least. They hide that all the way. So, I mean, I don't know. Like, the pricing thing bugs me. It really does. I'm hoping it's not as bad as they're accidentally pointing it out to be, but we'll just have to see. Like, it already turned me off of trying to get the Switch 2. I'm still debating, of course. Like, the rest of the stuff is fine. I mean, hey, we're getting brand new games to it. That's not a duh. Also, we're getting updates to old games. I'm kind of shocked that Deltarune Chapter 3 and 4 is coming out on the same day as freaking Switch 2, which makes you question why Toby Fox even kept his mouth shut over that, but okay. But, you know, that's like my biggest concern. And again, I definitely know I probably didn't explain it clearly, but the point is, this compatible update to the game to make it playable on Switch 2, at this point, why doesn't make it free update? Like, it's already good enough, to say the least, to make it free update. I mean, we're already paying a lot. We don't need to pay more. I mean, I get it. I partially get it if it's monetization, and it might be because it's super hard to make it playable on a Switch 2. But why not just make it free instead? Like, again, I could. It basically they're saying, hey, you want the Switch 2? Here you go. Like, I get it. It's also supposed to be a new console, but at the same time, it literally is like a Wii U situation. Other than the fact that it's going to sell well, and thank God they made it clear that it's not a Wii. But at the same time, it's like a soup up version of a Nintendo Switch. So what's the deal there? I mean, I don't know. I'm not a programmer. I do not know. I'm just explaining my concerns out. I do know this console will go well as, and again, I'm still divisive. I may get this. I mean, I may get the Nintendo Switch too. It's not gonna. It is stopping me a little bit from it, but I don't know. Again, I'm just getting out my thoughts. My thoughts are a bit messy, so sorry about that. But I just want to get that out to explain how I thought about it, because this is a very interesting update they give. But hey, at least as expected, it's coming out this year, way earlier than expected. But hey, it's coming out, so let's see how it goes because it's gonna be exciting. Anyways, this is Floxcat snapping out of here. Bye bye.